What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today when I talk to you about Lucid, I want to go over some of the current data points, what is really driving it higher today, and what as well came out from Lucid and what it truly means. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, Lucid is recovering fairly well, currently up 2.09%. As is the broader market. So the markets are all nice and green, and that is because of this right here. So this is the current layout for the September 18th Fed meeting. And as I've stated in the past, monetary policy is going to be a very big deal for the broader market. And at the very bare minimum, we are going to have at least a 25 basis point cut, kind of represented right here. But I think what has been happening because of some negative data, the likelihood of a 50 basis point cut is increasing. So currently there is a 47% likelihood of a 50 basis point cut. And so even though I've brought it up in the past, this increasing would be more so to combat a potential recession and to kind of minimize that. The market's taking this as a very, very strong positive, because if you do look at the November 7th meeting, this is where you do see a potential another 50 basis point cut. So again, kind of both meetings, it would be 50-50. So a 1% kind of cut. That would be huge for the broader market, very good for growth stocks. And as I've stated, for the whole EV sector, which is very sensitive to interest rates, that would be the biggest catalyst of them all. So let me know your thoughts on that. There was one thing that did come out first thing associated to Lucid, and that was this right here. Even though technically it was kind of known information, it says Lucid announces Technology and Manufacturing Day on Tuesday, September the 10th. So they're going to be live streaming it, but as I said, so during their last earnings, that's when they announced this, and it's very apparent. Like, I don't know, maybe Lucid's trying to be hush hush, but it is very clear that they're going to be unveiling the Gravity reservations on this day, because in this small snippet right here, so this is the PR, very small kind of wording, there's the word Gravity mentioned 5 times. They are definitely going to be unveiling the Gravity during this time period, because it makes sense, right? They know the broader market does want that, and once they do, I feel like that is going to be as well very good catalyst for just the broader market. So you're going to have this on September the 10th, potentially a 50 basis point cut on September the 18th. So yeah, I think that should be a very good couple of weeks for Lucid and just, again, the broader market. Right now, though, shorts are currently increasing 4.88 million shares. So they are still doubtful about Lucid being green today. 27.95% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 250.81 million shares. So for those of you that remember, yesterday's shorts did increase like around 8 to potentially 9 million shares. So they were really trying to double down. Same goes for today. So very much active. Utilization is 93.14. Short score is 84.75. So shorts have been overextended for a very long time with Lucid. So maybe once they start to catch on that the Gravity is this close to being unveiled, I think they would be smart enough and wise enough to return some shares. But again, we'll just have to wait and see. Looking at options, kind of low dollar value. So the market's been open roughly around 1 hour, 143,000 in calls, 31,000 in puts. 43% of all the options being done so far today within, again, the first 1 hour is bearish. So not the best, but of the call options that are being purchased, you do see a recovery to around that 450. Flip side, looking at puts, you do see consensus for it to be sub 350. So clearly on a very big pivot right now, and this is the current open interest for the calls. So you do see 15,000 at that 450, 5,000 at that 4, and then right here 3,000 at that 350. So kind of just take note of that. Typically around those strike prices, this is where shorts get a little bit more active. And this is why as well yesterday you kind of had shorts really trying to suppress Lucid away from that $4 range, and same goes for today. When it comes to this though, these are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So 2 transactions, one for $541,000, the other one for $520,000. So it kind of goes to show that institutions are paying a little bit of attention to Lucid. Not as much as it was like 2 weeks ago, but still, at least it's something. One thing I wanted to share with you though is this. So I think a lot of people generally don't know much about dark pools, and a lot of stocks have been getting dragged down significantly over this last several weeks, one of which is even Lucid, right? And I always do bring up this right here. So these are all the transactions that typically do occur on the dark pool. So dark pool is a little bit more active, more so for large transactions than the secondary market. So they are saying that it's actually the dark pool that is kind of what is causing a lot of the manipulative tactics and kind of bringing down the broader market. And because essentially this is where shorts hide a lot of their transactions and kind of mess things up. So what they do is they short, because typically shorts and market makers go hand in hand. What they typically do is they short using the secondary market, and then they recover using the dark pool. So that's at least one tactic, and that's aside from them hedging with call options. So again, there's a lot of different tools that shorts like to use. So just wanted to share that with you. But right now with it at $3.91, it is trading between this pivot and this R1. So 375 is a strong support. Did bounce off of it yesterday at 374 as a low, and today was the exact same thing. So we know that this pivot right here is kind of diamond support going forward into the next couple of trading days. So Thursday and Friday, a lot of consumer linked data, so that should cause another roller coaster of a day potentially. So we'll just have to wait and see what that does bring. As of right now, $4.37 is going to be that next strong kind of resistance slash target, and I don't anticipate that being touched most likely this week unless the data coming out Thursday, Friday are like mind-blowingly good. But then again, if that data is mind-blowingly good, then this right here, so the chances of a 50 basis point cut for the September 18th meeting would go down, if that makes sense. So it'd be kind of a good thing, bad thing, that kind of weird scenario. A lot of volatility today, but still above a lot of the key pivotal moving averages. Stochastic, you do see it at 67, no defined trend right now, and number of retail investors are somewhat getting out, so maybe taking profits or whatever else. So let me know your thoughts on Lucid. I know I covered quite a lot of things, but what's your thoughts, for instance, on shorts increasing? What is your thoughts, or I guess the likelihood of the Gravity being unveiled on September the 10th? Do you think that maybe I'm just jumping to conclusions, or do you think that there is some validity there? What's your thoughts? And one final thing, make sure you guys definitely take advantage of this promo. Simply sign up for a new account, throw $100 at it. They give you 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So this is a kick-ass deal. Link to this is in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.